I was surprised to hear your statement about the fact that in your long-term roadmap, you base it on existing technology. It's a surprising statement to make in front of an audience of engineers and researchers in the technical field. Is it so that you are in fact underestimating the role of universities in this fulfillment of the roadmap goals?
First, about us building on existing technologies. No, it's definitely not because we say that there should be or would not be any technology development. On the contrary, if you have to deliver on this roadmap, you will have a lot of sort of sub-solutions on how to deliver this, how to do more in renewables, how to do more in this and that, and lots of areas. But the problem is just, if we said, okay, here is a roadmap, and the precondition is that we think that by this and that year we would have invented something very, very smart, then of course it would just be dismissed right away. People would say, oh, that's just a fantasy. So it's just to say that I think it emphasizes sort of how strong the roadmap is, that even with the contours of already known technologies, we can actually do this also in a cost-efficient way. So it's definitely not to underestimate the input from industry, the input from universities, the input from demonstration projects, new technologies. For instance, the Commission recently, through the auctioning of 300 million allowances, have had 4.5 billion euros, it's almost 40 billion Swedish crowns, invested into 34 new renewable technologies plus CCS in this field, and we're also trying to do more through the budget. So I think it's one of the areas where we in Europe should be much better at pooling our resources, making things sometimes, if people have a good idea, try to sort of pool the effort and get it done a bit faster than we so far have managed to do to bring things to the market.